Hi guys, Elliot here, and before I get into today's video, I'd just like to apologise for the lack of videos recently. I've been bogged down with schoolwork and applying to get into college, so I haven't really had the time. But most of that's over now, so you should start seeing regular videos again. Today I'm going to be talking about Apple's new iPad device, and let's put all sanitary jokes aside, because this is a game-changing tablet computer. Okay, maybe it's not as game-changing as people thought it was going to be, and that is down to some vital missions which were key to its success. First of all, there was no front-facing camera, which quite a lot of people thought there was going to be for Skype calling and just recording videos and stuff. There's no flash built into Safari, and Chris Pirillo did actually write an interesting article about this on his blog, which I'll put a link to in the sidebar somewhere. The display is not a OLED display, and that's probably to keep the price down to a healthy $4.99 for the base model, which is 16GB without 3D. And if they'd had the LED display, the base model probably would have been around $1,000, probably just under $1,000. And another thing about this display, it's not touch sensitive. Some people thought there was going to be some sort of tactile keyboard, but it's not. It's just multi-touch glass like on the iPhone. There is no multitasking, which a lot of people also took for granted. But it is rumoured that that's going to be in the 4.0 software update, firmware update should I say. So yeah, that'd be nice because it is supposed to be a computer, and that's just one of the basic things that computers do. It's not all bad though, as the processor within the device is a 1 GHz processor which Apple developed. I believe it's ARM based and it's called the A4. Now 1 GB is going to be plenty, so it's going to be by no means going to be a slow device. Because if you watch the keynote, the demo that Jobs did, in that it looked pretty fast. So yeah, there is also the ability to download and read ebooks through Apple's new iBooks store and their iBooks application, and that looks really nice. You get kind of a virtual bookcase where you can see all the books on it. But unfortunately, it isn't available outside of the US. So anyone in Europe or anyone else in the world is going to have to wait for that. I'm not even sure whether it'll be available anytime in the future. Apparently it has something to do with licensing issues or something, but I'm not really too sure. And a lot of people are saying that it's not going to rival the Kindle because the Kindle has that special e-ink screen thing that makes it look like a real book and doesn't strain your eyes, whereas the iPad's screen is just the normal LED backlit, and that could strain your eyes once you've been reading for a couple of hours. And all the normal apps that you get with the device, like contacts and calendar and photos, they've all been given a really nice user interface upgrade. They all look really slick now, and they only have this kind of drop down menu effect kind of thing going on, and they all look really nice now, so that's nice. A new version of iWork has also been developed specially for this device. It's not all of iWork, it's just Pages, Numbers and Keynote, but they look really nice. And was it Phil Schiller, I think it was, at the keynote did a nice demo of them, and they only cost $10 each, which is quite a nice price for what you're getting. And also, any old apps you had for your iPod Touch, your iPhone, they will all work on the new iPod. They can even be in like a little window in the middle of the screen, or they can pixel double to run full screen. So you won't have to go back and buy or download any of your old applications. You can just sync them straight through iTunes. And finally, there's YouTube in HD. because YouTube now has a lot of HD content, so it's nice that the YouTube app for the iPad actually has HD, because the one for the iPhone and iPad isn't really HD. And the new interface for YouTube looks a lot more like the web interface for YouTube, with the related videos down one side, like kind of the description underneath. One thing about the HD, they did a demo of Star Trek playing in HD, and that it was really letterboxy, because there's like a 1-inch bezel around the screen and then the letterbox, so it didn't quite look right. And because it's not HD, I think it's 1024 by 768, which is a really weird aspect ratio, to be honest. If they'd kind of elongated it a bit more, it would have looked a bit better. They were the facts, but now it's time for my opinion. Will I be buying one? Yes, I will be buying one. I've talked to a few people and they've all asked me, Elliot, why are you getting it? It's just a big iPod Touch. And my response has been, exactly, that's why I'm getting it, because it's a big iPod Touch. I'm big into personal media. Take videos and films, for example. In the morning, if I want to watch a film on the way to school, because my trip to school can be up to an hour sometimes if the traffic's bad, I don't want to sit and stare at that. It's a tiny screen, it's 3.5, you're going to strain your eyes trying to look at it. But then on the other hand, I don't want to take my MacBook, because I don't want it to get stolen at school, which could do, or damaged. And I don't need all the bulkiness of the keyboard, and 13 inches is probably a bit too big just to have it in that. Whereas this 10-inch screen, that's what it is, a 10-inch screen, is like the perfect size, and just hold it in your hands, you're not going to strain your eyes, it's not going to be too bulky, it'll fit into my bag perfectly. So I don't see any other reason not to buy one. I can see myself, it's not going to replace my MacBook, because I'll have my MacBook set upstairs in my room, and I can see myself using this while I'm sat downstairs on the couch, you know, or maybe in the mornings when I wake up. I don't want to have to set up my MacBook with my cinema display. I can just turn on my iPod, check Facebook, you know. And people are kind of, right, here's the thing. People are thinking of it as a tablet computer, which is what we kind of thought it was going to be. But it's not a tablet computer, it's a large personal media device, and that's why it has all these emissions. If it was a tablet computer, then yes, it'd have like the front-facing camera and maybe some outputs and an SD card slot input. But it's not, it's a large iPod Touch. And that's why I want one, because people are hating on it too much, really, because they've got the wrong end of the stick, to put it metaphorically. It's not a computer. If it was a computer, it'd probably run the Mac OS 10 or something. Well, it doesn't, it runs the iPhone OS. So maybe it's probably... So, Apple are trying to create a new class, basically, between the iPhone and between the conventional notebook. And they're saying that this iPad is directly in the middle. Well, it's probably more towards the iPhone side of things, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not quite what we thought it was going to be, and that's why this thing is getting so much hate. And obviously because it's linked to a sanitary towel video that was released a couple of years ago, and I'm surprised that Apple haven't seen that, you know. But it definitely won't replace either my MacBook or my iPod. So that's all I have to say, really. Don't forget to check out my contest and giveaway. There's still a couple of weeks left going on that. I'll put an annotation to that somewhere in this video. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts on the iPad, leave me a comment, video response, whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and have a good one.